Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? We are back again. As you can see, we're missing a brother. Couldn't make it today. So shouts out. And as we always, we will cover him as we do what we do. And you know, I am your man, K Marvel. And as he would go, it's your man, US. Quiet Storm.
This man QS, the Quiet Storm, Powers himself. Put on the big stretch, the human encyclopedia. You see it down there.
And I'm Striker Dragoon. We here.
And as always, we are your four corners of commentary. Oh, I don't know which one. Yeah, okay, that was the right one. What's up, boys?
Chilling.
So, number one, you see, I got this blue on with our 6'1" giant.
That's right, 6-1, baby.
No,
6-1, 6
you already know.
6-1.
You already know. So let's just hope. Let's just hope the Steelers.
What is that? Is that a Daniel Jones jersey?
No, it's actually a Saquon jersey.
Oh, Saquon Barkley jersey.
Yes, sir.
Saquon Barkley.
Yes, sir.
Saquon Barkley. Danny Legs.
I have one, and then Bella has. I think I got Bella Manning jersey, a red Manning jersey.
Yeah, the classic number 10. I have that jersey floating around this house somewhere.
Yeah, I had to because now I'm thinking about it. I got her a couple years ago, and she was definitely smaller, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to see if it fits her right.
They grow up fast.
Shit, you telling me? I can't wait for y'all to have kids. I'm be one of those people talk about. Ooh, wait till they get to. I'm like, no, let me deal with this week. Thank you very much.
By the time I'm eligible to have children, technology will exist to keep them a certain age forever until my choosing.
Sure.
That's how it works.
They're just gonna put their heads in a jar like Futurama.
Formaldehyde is a nice option around this time of year, actually.
Can't stand you. Yo, shout out to Courtney. What's up, Court? She said she beat COVID's ass. Hell yeah. Right. Happy to hear that you're well.
Yes.
Happy to hear that you're well.
Very
happy to see that. Happy to see that the CNC connection is still pushing strong. We're proud of y'all. Shout out to Maddie. Shout out to Backstage Brawl. I'm doing it early. Why not? Shout out to Backstage Brawl. Big E just had a birthday, so happy belated birthday, brother. What else? What else is going on? Oh, I was just on Spaces for BCW for their Grand Dragon Tournament Championship. So they had Mr. Darius Carter on. They had what's that dude's name? Jay Bougie. Yeah, whatever. No, they had Jay Bougie on. They had Nevaeh on, and Ruthless Lala actually peeped in for a bit. I know she's working the New Japan show tonight, so that's pretty dope. Or Preston doing something for him, so that's pretty lit. But yeah, man, shouts out to everybody who's supported us from the jump all the way to now. We appreciate y'all. Like I said, I'm just getting this out the way early because it's been on my mind. So why not? So today we're actually doing a deep dive. I've had a concept of the returning Bray Wyatt. So we haven't been on for a little while, for a week, 2 weeks, a week. So Bray has come back on SmackDown. He's on 2 SmackDowns already. Excuse me. So he cut a killer promo on SmackDown the week he returned, and he had a dope backstage promo last week, to which there's just more and more questions, which, you know, that's how it is with Bray. That's how it's always been with Bray.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get to it. So long story short, or short story long, while he's been away, and even from him coming back, everybody's been talking about the Wyatt 6. So at the return of him at Extreme Rules, they did, first off, probably one of the best top 10 returns of all time. Let's just throw that out there right now. There was 5 different spots where you saw the characters from the the characters come to life from the Firefly Funhouse. We saw Huskus. We saw
Mercy the Buzzard, Abby the
Mercy,
Witch,
Mercy,
Mercy the
Abby,
Buggy, Rambling Rabbit.
Rambler Rabbit, and then we saw the Fiend, and then Bray came out. Also, awesome references and in respect to the late great Brody Lee. Like the door reference, and then even Abby wearing the why did I forget what that tag team was called? The
Bludgeon Brothers.
Thank you, Jesus. The Bludgeon Brothers. Abby had the Bludgeon Brothers mask, which was pretty dope. But yeah, so everybody's talking about the YA6, saying that it's a faction. So it's going to be 5 other wrestlers who's going to end up, being in this faction with Bray. Some names that was thrown around were Liv Morgan, Scarlett and Karrion Kross, Tommaso Ciampa, even though he's out for 9 months now, he just had hip surgery. Y'all remember any of the other ones? I'm blanking out right now. Oh, Bo Dallas, his brother. So there's been a bunch of different names. Me personally, I don't think it's going to be a faction. I think it's going to be, and not counting Bray as himself, not counting, Wyndham Rotunda, his actual name. But I think it's going to be 6 different personalities fighting to show up out of him, essentially. Kind of how The Fiend was a different entity, but it was still Bray. That's exactly how I think the YA6 is going to go. I think somehow, and what part of what led me to that conclusion was his promo on SmackDown the week he returned. He was in there cutting a hell of a promo from the heart, and then it got cut short as he was speaking.
Really good face
And,
promo, actually.
Huh?
So it was a really good face promo, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But like I said, it was from the heart, and sometimes that's just, even if it's not like face to heel aspect, the aspect of it, it's always better when it comes from the heart. But it got cut short. I don't know if it's the official name, but Uncle Howdy is the new mask that he came out with. The V from Vendetta style-esque mask. And he pretty much said that he thinks he's good, as in Bray. He thinks he's all right. He thinks he's good, but he's not. He has no idea what he has planned in store. And this is a brand new character to the Bray Wyatt
mythos, whatever you want to call it.
Right. So we have no idea what can come out from him. We have a general idea of everybody else. We know Huskus is basically a representative of Husky Harris. Mercy the bird, the buzzard is his Eater of Worlds persona.
Mercy the Buzzard, man.
Abby, we already know his sister Abigail. Rambling Rabbit, that one I'm not too sure. I don't know what that's the reference to, and I've always kind of wondered about it. And of course we have the Fiend, and now there's this new one, and when you really look at it, that's 6. So that's my that's pretty much my concept for him. Like I said, I think it's gonna just be them essentially fighting for control of Bray's body or Bray's mind, I guess you can say. What do y'all think?
I think that's the consensus. I think that most people are leaning to that it is like going to be like a split personality thing. But even so, I think the coolest thing is they're still doing like the QR codes.
Yeah.
They released like kind of like a mental health like report on him, which he does like has no remorse for other people and stuff like that. Like kind of like basically telling you that Bray Wyatt is a sociopath. Yeah. That's what sociopaths pathology is. You don't have any remorse for the things that you do, easily lying and stuff like that. And the mask did say, like, it's not good to lie to those you love. It'll be interesting to see where it goes, because there's a rumor floating around that he's like going to be a face. So I have no idea where this is going to go. I'm just along for the ride. I want to see where this is going to end up. I'm digging it so far. I'm very intrigued. So,
before we get to Striker, QS actually just dialed in, and he's absolutely right. And thank you for that, bro. Because for some reason I really couldn't think of it. A rambling rabbit represents the innocence of Bray. Hence why he's always getting murdered or decimated in Firefly Funhouse. He's killing his innocence. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Deep.
Absolutely.
Smart.
I mean, that would make sense flowing into his last promo he did on Friday last week.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because he basically said I don't care anymore. He said what you're seeing is what you're getting. I'm not, the remorseful side of me is gone. I am going to basically run through WWE and do whatever I please, and I'm going to have no remorse for it. So he's basically giving us a foreshadowing or a warning. So he can pop up at any time. He can pop up at any place at this point on SmackDown, and anybody's free game. So if you're telling me he's going in as a face, I think the biggest fish to catch and basically his biggest opponent at this moment obviously is Roman.
Absolutely. So, and there's a receipt there too. And that's that's something people I don't think anyone really forgot. And there's one for honestly, there's one for Braun. So. There's one for Braun also. Braun has a receipt when it comes to Roman also. But yeah, I mean, we see the begin. He beat Roman beat the
Roman
Fiend.
pinned Braun.
Yeah, he pinned Braun, but it was
never pinned the Fiend.
No, I know. What I'm saying is still the triple threat. You know what I'm saying? So they're still involved. So either way, Roman is the reason why he lost the Universal title. So that receipt is there. Period. So he owes a few people a couple of ass whoopings. But then again, when you think about it, wait, did you have more Strike? My bad. All right. The other thing is the Fiend was supposed to be that person for receipts, if you remember. You know what I mean? Anything anyone did to Bray, the Fiend was pretty much the repercussions of their actions, because he had to go into create this monster. So it's gonna be interesting. That's for damn sure. QS also said someone who's been labeled the top baby face, yet he's letting others know that he's going to do some quotes horrible things. He's probably going to destroy the system as he sees fit. Also, Uncle Howdy is coming. Absolutely. And I think what I like about Uncle Howdy too is the way, because people were trying to figure out like who Uncle Howdy is. I obviously think it's Bray. But it's the delivery of his words that makes Uncle Howdy so interesting to me. Because he's not speaking like anyone else. Sorry. Do you really want me to?
What's the matter, K Marvel?
Do you really want me to?
No, don't do that. I don't care either way. Go ahead.
All right, so Stretch needs help. He said that's the name of a porno, Get it. He's talking about the Uncle Howdy is coming. Get it? Okay. I know somebody's watching this like, oh man.
I was on a road trip and I saw a sign that said Jesus is coming, but that's a different story for me.
Oh boy.
All right, we're not gonna do that. So nah. But yeah, I think Uncle Howdy might end up being the most sadistic version of Bray. But we gotta wait and see for that. My question to y'all would be, if there's all these terrible things that he's going to bring to the table, And let's just keep it strictly to SmackDown. Who do you think the first person he's going to face is?
Braun's the easiest choice, truthfully. I say he faces who he wants in a stable. If he's gonna do a stable,
If he does a stable,
go for Cross. I mean, once Cross and Drew's done, go for Cross.
do you really think Cross would fit? No, well, I
Yeah,
won't say fit. No, that's the wrong choice of word. Do you think he needs to be in a stable?
I think yeah, because even though what's going on with Drew right now is happening, it's more benefiting Drew than him personally. Um, I think you're getting the more serious, more psychotic side of Drew as a face
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of people thought that he lost with his face run because
Mm-hmm.
everybody got tired of him when he was champion.
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't we want to, or at least Cross isn't being in the light that Triple H I guess expected him to be from
Right.
NXT to the main roster. So why not have Bray attack people whom he feels should release their actual, their true selves, which has basically been what the Fiend was doing the whole time. The Fiend basically transitions everybody into their better selves or their true selves, I guess you can say. So why don't we go by the quote, revel in what you are? Why am I hiding that I'm a bad person? But why am I not going to the extent that I know I can? If my monkeyer was Killer Cross before I reached WWE, why am I doing, mid-level tricks and bullshit? Let me really be the monster that I am. Braun, although he's doing what he's doing right now, I can see him losing to Omos. I could literally see him losing to Omos just to give Omos that rub. But why not go and bring out the old Braun Strowman? Not the one that does the running around the ring or, chanting with the crowd and all this other shit. Bring out the real monster that he was when he first came to the Wyatt family. Who else? If we're bringing back Bo can have his own thing. Bo won't be the jumpy, run around the ring guy with Bo leave. He's gonna cut all that out.
Yeah,
Let
for
him
sure.
be the sadistic, right? Or as B said, the black sheep. Let him be the sadistic brother that he should be for Bray. And whether it's just an assist or outside interference and stuff like that, let him be the sadistic brother. We've seen how crazy Bo can get when he was in NXT, especially
Mm-hmm.
when he was pissed off.
Yep.
So why not just make that his actual thing? And mind you, this can still be a face stable. Don't get me wrong, but you're bringing the true nature out of these characters, and whom they attack can be anybody. So I wouldn't even say faces, maybe tweeners, but they can attack just about anybody.
Kind of
And
like a Austin-ish, to where he was a good
basically,
guy, but he was still doing
he does
heelish
whatever the fuck he
actions.
wants, basically.
Right.
And that's what I'm seeing. I also think Uncle Howdy is actually his conscience. I don't think Uncle Howdy is the eviler side of him. I think Uncle Howdy is his conscience. Because why would you interrupt the face promo saying, oh, you shouldn't lie or you should really tell them the truth and stuff like that? Then next week you come out and say, oh, I'm really going to be who I am. I don't really care who I destroy and stuff like that. It doesn't make sense. So if
Yep.
I'm getting interrupted on a face promo, which Uncle Howdy thinks is fake, and
Right.
then you come back the next week and speak the actual truth, I'm going to think that's your conscience.
Well, I
But
mean, he did say on Friday that he did mean every word. Like it wasn't that it was fake more though, because he was speaking from the heart.
mhm,
But it was also just that there is another side and there is a different aspect of him coming back. And it just so happens that, like he said, and like we quoted multiple times already, he's going to do horrible, horrible things and he's going to have no remorse because it seems like whoever he faced, that's what happened with them.
yeah.
They faced him and they faced him with no remorse because that's exactly how, once again, it goes back to the Roman. That's exactly what happened. He had no more remorse. The whole point was to win the universal title. It's his title in his eyes. That's his title.
Mhm.
And he was going to do anything and everything he could do to regain it. So it's like that animosity has just been building up for the last almost 2 years.
Well, he has
You know,
purpose. Well, that I think that's
right?
a purposeful thing, but I don't. Once again, I don't think he goes into that bloodline fight alone. Whether it's 6 personalities or maybe 6 different people, he's not going into that fight alone. So you can dress it up however you want. He can have 6 masked people who may look like actual wrestlers on a roster. They could be like haunt. They could haunt the bloodline, I guess you can say, and then they can go and attack whomever they think is
Yeah.
the actual people. And then when the people are actually revealed, it might be 6 different people. Who knows? Or that might just make his faction.
Well, then
So
what if it's something along the lines of, because if it, for debate's sake, right?
Mm.
What if he does go in alone, and it's more so that, because we've seen this before with different wrestlers in different situations, and it's not just the horror or the thriller aspect of it, but they take them out one by one. We've seen Cena do it with Nexus. I'm pretty sure, who is he? I'm blanking out on the other groups right now, but it's a story we've seen before. You know what I'm saying? So I think if and when he goes for either the Universal title or the Bloodline, because we just don't know what's going to happen within the next 4 to 5 months. But I think regardless of what it is that I think if that was the route and there isn't other people involved, then he ends up taking everybody out one by one. Or, he'll take out, it'll be one of those things where the Usos get beat up on one night, and then Sammy will be SmackDown, and then Solo will be Raw, and then or let's say hypothetically Solo shows up on NXT for some reason, so he shows up on NXT to take him out.
Mhm.
And then he goes to Paul. He takes Paul out.
I think Paul will be the first. Paul will probably be the first to go, but I think Sammy is going to internally break up the bloodline. I don't think they're going to break up because of Bray. It has to be Sammy.
Well, no, I mean not that I think they're going to break up because of Bray. I just think like I said, if we're going along the lines of what you said, it's not necessarily breaking up more than it is him
taking
like
him
I
out.
said, right? Him. There's a receipt. You know what I mean? So. And we all know Roman is stronger with the bloodline.
But that's why that's why I'm interjecting with the Sammy point, because I think at some point before this is all happening, Sammy may be the dagger in the back if Bray is meant to win the title back. I think Sammy's the perfect dagger in the back.
He's the catalyst for it.
Catalyst for it, right? Exactly. So they're going to be in disarray either which way, and then I think that's when you get that moment of Jay or maybe Solo. Maybe Solo was the spy for the elders the whole time, or Jay is the one that goes to the elders and actually brings in The Rock, or somebody else, maybe somebody from a different company. I don't know. Maybe
Jacob Fatu. That would be crazy.
Dope.
That would be dope.
Would love to see that.
And that would be maybe that setup for WrestleMania where we actually get Roman versus whomever the elders send.
Right.
But I think if you're going to have Bray and Roman, I think that should probably be the person to remove the title from him.
Bray.
I think Bray would be if that is in the plan.
Right. Like he's a big possibility, because we already know Cody. The whole speculation has been that Cody is going to end up coming back, winning the Rumble, and then beating Roman at WrestleMania. Right. So I think, and I think we spoke about this before. It was just the fact that there were so many firings and so many people let go, but there was so many people in those groups that were possibilities to beat Roman.
Yep.
Braun was one of them. Bray was one of them. Cody is one of them. Rollins is one of them. So there's, I think with Triple H, sorry. I think with Triple H bringing a lot of these people back, and not only just the people, but a lot of our favorites back, it opens the door for so many more possibilities. Like, this Rumble is going to end up being another year with maybe 4 years in a row where, we're really going to end up being like, I have no idea who's going to win the Rumble, and that's what the Rumble should be. It should never be just, handed on a silver platter. You know what I mean? Like, or at least to us, you know what I mean? Like, it should never be, oh, here is your winner for the Rumble. It should be, who the fuck is going to win the Rumble?
Mhm.
I don't know. Do you know? No. You know what I mean? So, and that's in a few months. So I'm actually really excited for the Rumble this year. It's going to be interesting. It's, like I said, especially with all the returns in NXT, because NXT is going to be involved somehow.
Most definitely will. I
Yeah.
think it's time enough we just stop trying to treat them like they're just developmental. Like, you have enough stars.
I agree. Braun is you know what? We'll do that later. We'll do that in a future episode. Stretch, any thoughts?
I would love to see this. I don't think it's going to happen. And I'll be very quick. I would love to see Bray Wyatt versus Rey Mysterio.
Ooh.
Believe it or
Think
not.
it brings out that actual dark side of him?
Right, because Ray, think about it. Ray wears a mask. People love him for it. Bray Wyatt has been hiding behind a mask his entire life. People vilify Bray Wyatt. People shame Bray Wyatt. Why does he not get the adulation that Rey Mysterio gets? Rey Mysterio is a coward just like everybody else. Everybody hides behind a mask.
I mean,
Isn't that what they said about Spider-Man? Isn't that what JJ said about Spider-Man, Jay Jonah? He was like, Spider-Man hides behind a mask.
Exactly.
Who hides behind a mask?
And then when Bray takes off his mask, he has a little Hitler mustache that's gray and black. Like Jay Jonah Jameson. But no, like, just like the impetus of, like, really emphasizing the mask. I think if you really wanted to get the mask over as like this malevolent entity, I think that is like the way to go, to put him up against the like greatest mask superstar of all time, Rey Mysterio. And it's almost damn near impossible to boo Rey Mysterio at this point. Like, Rey Mysterio, as long as Rey Mysterio is in the WWE, he probably will never turn heel. Like, unless he takes his mask off, which I don't think they'll do because he makes too much fucking money.
Unless, or he'll fight Bray, and that'll be. I mean, he is going through a lot of turmoil. You know what I mean? He has a lot of pain and probably anger inside.
Does he know how Bray Wyatt talks, man? Rey Mysterio couldn't even keep a handle on his own son.
Look, he can't even keep his chest in place after Gunther fucking caves his chest in.
Oh God, I
can't wait to see that shit.
Into a grease spot.
When is that? Tomorrow?
I think.
Is that SmackDown? Is that tomorrow?
I think it's tomorrow.
Dang it, I might not be able to watch SmackDown tomorrow. I'm supposed to have a social engagement. But I will be catching up on the episodes that I missed. I cannot wait to see Mysterio versus Gunther.
Oh, man,
I just want to see how he's gonna flip after he gets chest slap.
I feel poor Ray. This is gonna be a retirement match. It's crazy.
He's gonna have to dodge that slap the whole match because he's definitely
we know that's not happening. As soon as he gets in the corner, it's over.
Did Big Show chop him at one point?
Ray's been chopped by damn near everybody.
Big Show did him dirty.
Yeah, Big Show did him real dirty.
He was strapped to the stretcher, and Big Show just took it like a baseball bat, and he landed. Okay, if nobody's ever seen that moment, it's at one of those Backlash pay-per-views. I can't remember which year. I think it might have been 2004. Was it 2004? 2004, 3.
Ray and Big Show?
Yeah, it was a Rey Mysterio versus Big Show match. It was on one of those B pay-per-views. And, he beats him and stuff like that. Big Show beats him with a choke slam. Ray gets in his little hope spots and stuff, but he beats him with a choke slam pretty handily, right? He gets stretchered out. They do the stretcher job. He clears everybody from the stretcher. Ray's strapped to the stretcher, mind you. He takes the stretcher like it's a baseball bat.
I did see that. I remember that one.
This is no bullshit. For anybody watching this and don't remember,
I remember that.
It's the ring post with it. But the real fun was Ray has no way to brace himself on the way down, so he lands like face first on like hard too. He lands like face first on the ground, really hard, And you
think
just
he was
see him like he's
screaming by
strapped
the
to the
time,
stretcher.
yeah.
You just see him do this. Like I thought he broke his fucking nose at the very least. Like he hit really goddamn hard.
Yeah, no, that was
Where
because
he
he just
fell.
dropped him.
Not to mention that was not a soft swing by any means. Or if it was, kudos to both of them. They're fantastic workers. But I saw that was like my mouth was agape. I thought he killed Rey Mysterio in that moment. Like,
Just like we think of a lot of the times that he's in a match with the big guy. But
right. Corbin threw him off the roof there.
yeah.
No, first off, the Rey Mysterio that's in the ring right now is a ghost. That's number one. All right, he killed Rey Mysterio that won Money in the Bank. That was only what 3 years ago. Shit, during the pandemic, that was 2020, 2021, something like that. Yeah,
Pandemic in the bank.
yeah. But yeah, so that's my concept. Of course, we're gonna have to wait and see. I guess we can also in a few months maybe come back to it and see where it goes from, or see what was
How
right
it's
about what we said,
developing.
what was wrong. Yeah, we could talk about it later. Let's jump into this. The PWI Women's Top 150 dropped today, and we're just gonna mention the top 10, and then just literally a couple people who it's a little questionable about their position. Y'all want to do 10 to 1 or 1 to 10?
10-1 is easier.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So number 10 is Taya Valkyrie.
Have not been seeing her AAA run, but
Her AAA run is apparently really good, but her
I'm
Impact
happy
run is
for
on
her.
point. She's doing well in Impact. Number 9 is Starlight Kid from Stardom. Well deserved. Number 8, Charlotte Flair.
I have to see. I have to see the time period for the voting. Was it July last year to this year?
From October last year.
It's October 1st to September 15th.
All right.
And it's based, and the criteria is, this is what we should have did. Excuse me. I apologize to everybody watching. The criteria is in-ring achievement, influence on sport or promotion or / promotion, technical ability, quality of competition, and activity. Activity is minimum 10 matches, and in parentheses it says or 6 months with at least one match in each during the evaluation period to qualify for the ranking.
Who did Charlotte lose the belt to? Ronda, right? Yeah, she lost it to Ronda.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so
all right, so
that's around that time.
8 is Charlotte Flair. 7 is Saya Kamatani. She's also from Stardom. It's also well deserved. 6 is Jordan Grace from Impact. She is the current Impact Women's World Champion.
Is she? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
From digital media to women's champion that quick.
Yeah. I think it was only a couple.
Hot potato, man. Hot potato title, man.
Number 5 is the TBS champion Jade Cargill.
Should be higher.
AEW. Well, hold on. We'll get to that. Number 4 is the man. Well, she's not the man anymore, but big time Becky Lynch.
Yes, sir.
Number 3 is the former AEW Women's Champion Thunder Rosa.
Still is.
Well, I mean,
she's just on hiatus for a little bit. She still is.
Number 2 is the current Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair.
Well deserved.
And number 1 is the what's the title card? Do you remember, Striker?
All I know, the nickname is the Red Belt, but I think it is I think it's just the Stardom Championship. I'll get the exact name, but
I got it right. I'm looking it up. I got you. Can you pronounce her name, please? Because I'm gonna mess it up.
Sayuri.
There you go. Sayuri is the number 1. I have seen a lot of her stuff. It's so well deserved. That girl, damn. If y'all don't know, please look her up. Check out a lot of her stuff. Also, the cool thing about her is that and I just found this out today, doing spaces. So shouts out to everybody who's jumping in a coffee with Rev and a cookout today. But essentially, Kana, who is now Asuka, basically handed Sayori basically said she's the next in line. She's the one who's going to carry this company, and she's been doing that. So it is very much well deserved. She's the current World of Stardom champion. That's what the title
World
is.
Stardom champion.
Yeah.
And
she's 33.
I think it's crazy Julia wasn't even top 10 because she hasn't really lost a step during the year, but that's just me, I guess.
What are you talking about?
The Julia from Stardom.
All right, I'm looking through the list now to see if
I think she should have been top 10. I don't think Thunder Rosa should be even remotely in top 5.
Well, they're doing this for. You also have to like the one thing I've been trying to take into account of this is that they are doing this from October of last year to now, essentially. Well, not now, but to about August of 2022.
Yeah, it's only a month and a half out. They ended it in the middle of September.
So I think that a lot of our recency bias is kicking in a little bit. Rosa was like a very long reigning champion, even though I do agree. I don't think she should be above Jade Cargill.
I don't think she has had the matches to say she's number 3.
I don't think she's had the influence to say.
I don't think that if we're going by matches, I don't think Jade should be that high. But presence wise, absolutely, she's like number 1.
Right.
You know who I think got slighted on this list? 2 people. Looking at past the top 10. Because if we're going to take into account moments and big stages and stuff like that, Ronda Rousey got slighted.
Yep.
I think Britt Baker got slighted. Why is she not in the top 10?
Yeah, because they've been putting her in big matches in that year span.
Yeah. And this
I mean, 13 isn't bad though.
I know it's not bad, but I'm still saying I don't think she should be outside the top 10 if we're going by the criteria.
Okay.
She's had a lot of like her 2022 alone, I think, was a lot larger than a lot of the women's whole year on this list. She won the Royal Rumble. She main evented. She had a big match at WrestleMania. She won at WrestleMania Backlash. Like, she had a lot of big moments. I would say the one person who suffers from the recency bias being a part of this, meaning that had this list been a little bit longer, considering the momentum that they're having, 2 names come to mind. Number 1 is Willow Nightingale. I think Willow Nightingale a whole lot she'd be a whole lot higher if this list was a little bit longer. Meaning that if this came out,
and she is number 40 right now. So
which is respectable. Don't get me wrong. Like all the rankings that I think are respectable. Anybody that made the list, kudos to them. But it's one of those things like if this was like released at the end of the year, I think she'd be a whole lot higher, considering where her trajectory is gone.
Absolutely.
But even in early October, she was. I mean, even in October last year, she was doing crazy shit. So it just mind boggles me. Like, what are they really looking at across each of the of their career, I guess you could say, or what they're doing in that time period?
Well, I think something. At least speaking directly about Willow, it's
3 names.
It's sad to put it this way, but when it comes to your casual fan who like maybe strictly watches AEW or only watches AEW and WWE, Willow is just really like in their homes. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're not watching Dark, if you're not watching Elevation, like Willow has been on Dynamite, she's been on Rampage, but she was losing on these shows. She just now really started gaining this momentum, and just now, she just got signed to AEW, to which congratulations. Like we're so happy for you.
Treat her right.
Actually, the rumor is that The rumor is that she might end up being the face of ROH.
Mm.
Interesting. I got
I'm all for it.
another hot take also
Yeah.
that I got to get out. And I know I'm straying away from the top 10 topic here, but
No. I want to get a
if
few
anybody can
outside
show
of it.
if anybody can show me a universe alternate or whatever that Maki Ito ranks over Rhea Ripley, I will give you $1 million right now. Like that is the one ranking that it's like, okay, they really need to seriously reevaluate this list. Like this Maki Ito to me brings absolutely okay. If you want to say maybe influence, she does fit like the anime nerd demographic. Fair enough. Teen Idol in Japan. Can't really overlook that. As far as wrestling is concerned, she is nowhere near in Rhea Ripley's league. Like,
just so the fans understand where the numbers are. Maki Ito, who has appeared in AEW, she's in Stardom. She goes to a lot of different promotions. Side note, has a crazy match with fucking with this guy's captain.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome if y'all get a chance to see
Beat
it.
her ass, but yeah.
Damn, he fucked her up. But she's 37 and Rhea Ripley is 42.
Once again, I don't understand the criteria because Rhea was tag champ around that time last year. I guess because she faded into obscurity, I guess, between that time of her losing the titles. So I mean, I guess, but I don't know.
I mean, her work with the Judgment Day has been awesome, but once again, that's more of a more recent, like what summertime kind of thing, right? Essentially,
Yeah,
it
I guess
started
for
what, like
summer.
July-ish or May or something like
Yeah, so
that.
maybe
So
next year she'll be in better standings, but she hasn't been having many matches anyway. So I mean, I guess
well, she still owed a Raw Championship match, so we still have to see how that turns out.
probably WrestleMania.
That's what I was thinking too. Somebody I think first off, there is a shout out that I want to give, which is number 11. Tasha Steeles has been fucking killing it.
And I think she should
So
have been higher.
yeah,
Me
yeah,
personally.
I agree too. I think she should have been top 10. So shout out to Petty Steeles. She know what I'm talking about. But shout out to something else podcast also. Also Creep Squad. Shout out to them also. That's Faye and Tasha Steeles and a few others. But yeah, she definitely should have been in top 10. To be honest with you, I don't know if I would necessarily flip the numbers, but I would take Rosa out of the top 10 and put Steels in the top 10.
Yeah, could put her above Jordan personally.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I
she's
would
had
say that
a
too.
great year. She was champion for a long time. She
Mhm.
brought in Savannah Evans. Her and Savannah Evans was fucking tearing up Impact
Side
at
note,
one
number
point.
56, Savannah Evans is. So
Should be a little
congrats.
higher, but I'll see who's between her and whomever. But
Shit, a lot of
I think
people.
she had a crazy year too, truthfully. But they were tag champs, I think, in Impact, if I remember correctly. And this
Were
was
they?
after, I believe so, yeah. For a while they were. They lost to I forget who. But I believe they had the belts for a bit after Tasha lost the
Women's
women's
title?
champion.
Oh, huh. I didn't realize that.
I think they beat the Decay, and then they had that whole story with the Decay going crazy. Well, what's her name getting lost? Then you had with Havoc getting lost in I guess the dark dimension, I guess if you want to call it. And then they brought in Taya to come help out Rosemary and a whole bunch of craziness. But yeah, but
No, she didn't have the tag
they didn't
titles.
have the tag titles, right?
Mm-mm.
Or I'm thinking they were in the
No.
feud for it.
She still Tasha still had the women's title at this point. I
Okay.
thought. At least that's what I thought. Yeah. And the other person that I think has to be mentioned, who I don't understand I mean, honestly, there's a lot of people. I mean, we can always go back and forth on this, but the other two people I think that should have been a little higher was Asuka, number one. Like, I mean, I understand a few criterias on why she wasn't higher, but
When did she return?
Asuka.
Yeah, it wasn't last year, was it? It had to be this year, I think.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I forgot about that.
And then she didn't really do much between that. I mean, she's had matches, don't get me wrong. And she had, I think, a great match with Bianca.
I mean, she
But
always puts on quality matches, though. I
but
guess
she hasn't
that's
really done anything to deserve. I mean, depending on where her spot is and depending on who's around her at that spot, I still think just her being on the list is fine
mm,
compared to what she's had done within the year, because she's really been silent, honestly. Even when she came back, she was doing good. This is around the Vince time, I believe, when things were
hmm
going crazy with the Vince situation. So I mean, she did what she could, and then now Bianca has the title, so she's not really around much. Alexa's not really around much, so I can't really say she deserves a better spot than what she's in. But like I said, it depends on who she's around, and just going by their criteria, I guess that's it. It should be fine wherever she's
yeah.
placed.
And the last person it's actually not a replace or a move, but Masha Slamovich being number 14, I think is fucking
That's
awesome.
huge.
That is
That's
pretty good.
awesome. And
Because
if I'm not
was she even
mistaken,
on
she's
the list
still
last year? She
I
probably
don't
wasn't
know.
high on the list last year.
I'm not sure. But she's still, if I'm not mistaken, she's still undefeated in Impact.
Who did she face recently that she had her undefeated streak? Was it Deanna?
It's possible.
I think she faced a big time opponent and just won. But I have to see who it is. But
Yeah, I'm trying to look for it
shout
now.
outs to her. That's a
Yeah,
battle club.
Diana.
It was Deanna, right?
hmm
Right. So that's a battle club graduate.
Yes, sir.
So
She
shout out to
had
Battle Club Pro.
word, word. They got a big show coming out in January too, to which your boy is trying to get your boys in there to do some big things, but we'll wait on that one. Striker, who else, man?
I mean, honestly, my only gripe, at least for the top 10, this isn't like the men's one where it's a discrepancy for majority of the friggin' placements. I think the list is great. I think the top 10, like I said, my only real gripe is Rosa. I don't think Rosa deserves top 3.
Mm,
Maybe bottom 10, or maybe top 15, but I don't think she deserves number 3. You can add that she had the belt for a certain amount of time. You can add that she had a steel cage match. You can add that she had all of these different things happening, but her run has not been great to her. If anything, I would say it exposed more of her faults or more of her weaknesses than anything.
yeah,
And that's about it. I think having two black women in the top 5, I fully love it. I applaud it. And who better than Bianca and Jade? But I think the top 5 placement, aside from Thunder Rosa, is great.
yeah.
Have no issues with it. I think they properly covered who they needed to cover, and Sayori's been killing it. Only thing I would say is Juliana should have just sorry, Julia. I said Juliana. I feel Julia should have been at least top 20, or if not higher, for me personally. But
Mhm.
that's that.
There was also something I wanted to mention. Give me a quick second, and I will let you know. Um, actually, we had the hell is her name on here? That's killing me. There we go. Boom. Um, so hold on. Give me a second. I'm right there. I'm right there. I'm right there.
I'd agree, but I disagree.
Oh my God, why am I blanking?
Oh, so in the meantime,
No, you good? Yeah.
yeah, many people would say that, but with the criteria, with the winning streak, with the opponents that she's had, I don't think there's any debate if that she's not top 5.
Yeah.
People will say she's green. People will say she's this, say she's that, but Thunder Rosa's matches aren't memorable. Why is she number 3?
Sadly.
It's that simple. It's honestly that simple.
That's where that's more along the lines of what I was thinking. I was like, we can't, like, if we're gonna put Jade Cargill, no disrespect to Jade Cargill, obviously, who I think is a fantastic athlete, but match quality is not her thing. Like, it's like more of a presence thing, and that's okay, like, because that's part of pro wrestling. You have to make me want to watch you.
Right.
Like, you can be the best wrestler in the world. If you're boring, you're not only going to put so many asses in seats. You know,
Exactly.
that's why we have match cards. They don't build around one person. But she has the potential. She gets her wrestling down pat, and she's fairly new. She's only been at this 3 years.
Yeah, just about.
2 years.
You know, so it's like, for her to have the trajectory that she has, if we're like doing a scouting report for next year, she's going to be in the top 3 without question. Like,
Exactly.
As long as things don't go on a decline,
right? As long
like
as
that's that's the only.
I don't think it will. I think her story with Nyla. I think her story with Nyla is actually really good for her, because not only is it bringing out, it's not only showing a bit of vulnerability on her side.
Yes,
it's adding more fuel to her fire. So when you get that match with Nyla, it may not be a squash match, but
no, it's not.
you're for sure going to see the fire in her for the match.
Yeah.
Shout out to Queen. It's not a small opponent for her by any means either. So that should definitely say a lot.
Yeah. Shout out to Queen PR from Those Wrestling Girls. She was actually one of the one of the people involved in the rankings for PWI. So proud of you, love. You know, I wish nothing but the best for you and Krista. Keep growing. You know, y'all are absolutely killing it. And you know I can speak for the Four Corners when I say that we are very proud of you guys and all the growth that y'all have been doing, or having. But yeah, so that's the PWI. And Stretch wanted to put this question out. Halloween is on Monday. So gentlemen, and QS, if you're still watching, brother, what is your favorite horror movie? Who's starting? Not me.
I got a couple.
The top 3 though.
The top 3? Okay.
So you're gonna make it harder for me?
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be specific movie. I would just say do series if we're going to do top
franchise horror adjacent. So if I had to pick like a number 1 above all else, probably Nightmare on Elm Street. Just the way it's shot, the way it's formulated. You never know what's a dream from what's not a dream. Like the moments where he does pop up, and they do the one thing that, because we live in an era of jump scares, that's all the fuck we do now in American cinema for horror movies. They don't show him, Freddy Krueger, being him until 30 minutes into the film. So you have no idea what's terrorizing these kids. And like your imagination usually is way scarier than anything that somebody can present on screen. Yeah. Another one of my favorite horror movies, again, just keep like the concept of keeping people guessing, is The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. It's a fantastic movie, whether you like horror movies or not. The practical effects in The Thing, absolutely terrifying to this day. Like the animatronics and everything, I just love watching it. That, and you never really get a sense of trusting someone in The Thing, which is really good. And if I had to pick another one of my favorite horror movies, The Belko Experiment.
I haven't seen it yet. I hear so many good things.
Go watch Belko Experiment. Do you have Tubi?
What is that?
Yes, I do.
Tubi is free. You can watch The Belko Experiment on Tubi. Okay,
I have to watch it. I heard
doesn't
so
know The
many
Belko
things.
Experiment. What it is this. It's like Office Space meets Battle Royale.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's the premise is all these office workers are working in an office in South America, but they are instructed to kill each other in certain time intervals, or they will be appropriately dealt with. I'll leave it at that because I don't want to spoil it for you if you ever do decide to watch it. But the Belko Experiment is really good because it's one of those movies where we like you think in the back of your head like, what would I do if I was in this situation? Like it really thrusts you into that type of mindset. Just for kicks and giggles, 2 other movies that I think that you might not necessarily think horror when you hear them, but I totally think of them as horror movies. No, well,
let's see if we're here.
Horror series.
Sorry.
It's Predator and Alien. Predator and Alien to me are both horror movies.
Oh yeah.
Predator without question is a horror movie. Like it just happens that he's stalking.
More so suspenseful
and more action oriented.
More action. It is.
That was mainly because of the actor. You know,
it starts out as an action movie, but it goes into full on like suspenseful horror. It's essentially a slasher film in a fucking jungle. And Alien is essentially Halloween in space.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. The old adage of why don't they leave the house? Well, the house is in space. They can't leave the house.
Right.
That's mine right there.
You want to do Brandon's QS's real quick since it's here? So QS says, well, good.
Hostel Part 2.
Oh, I can't
fucking love Hostel.
Can't stand Hostel. Hostel is like torture porn. I can't stand
But that's the thing. I can't watch torture movies, but I crack up watching Hostel. House of a Thousand Corpses with Dr. Satan. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
House of a Q. Is that because there was 2, right? There was the original and then there was the Rob Zombie version?
No. That's you're thinking of Halloween.
Probably.
House of a Thousand Corpses is his own work.
Yeah. That's just one of a couple movies that he did.
Yeah, that's a sequel. That's actually a sequel to The Devil's Rejects, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it?
I think so.
Or is it the other way around?
Or the other way around. One of the two.
The other way around.
Oh, okay.
Because Dr. Satan, which is the guy who is the head of basically all that shit.
Yeah,
he's actually in all of those.
Right.
He's actually in all of those, and I think I'm not gonna say what happens, but you know what happens basically there's a third movie. I just forgot the third movie. And he said Halloween 4, which I don't remember, but I'll watch it over.
Is that the return of Uncle Myers?
And The Hills Have Eyes 2. I don't think I've seen 2. I've seen 1.
One is pretty intense.
Good.
Is that the one with the family?
Yeah, the family in the mountains.
One is pretty intense.
For me, because you mentioned 4, I'll probably go 3 or 4. For me, Evil Dead series is always number 1. I just recently watched it this weekend as well, just to show somebody else why I love it and whatnot. But Sam Raimi horror movies up here for me. Number 2, and I just had it in my head and I forgot it. Shit. 13 Ghosts.
Oh, love that movie.
13 Ghosts. I have to buy it. I can't believe I don't have it in my collection.
The original or the remake?
They did a remake?
The one with Tony Shalhoub is a remake.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That is a remake, yes.
Oh, wow.
The original was when? When did they have
the original? The original was in the 60s, if I'm not mistaken.
Jeez. Okay. So maybe I'll check out the original too. But yes, the Tony Shalhoub one is actually one of my favorite horror movies.
If y'all don't know who Tony Shalhoub is, that's the man who played Monk in the show.
Yep.
Monk.
Correct.
Great show, by the way.
Third, B would definitely agree with me on this. I'm surprised he didn't mention it. Terrifier.
What's that?
Or Terrifier.
Terrifier. I've heard.
Oh, I know you're talking about what the. Yeah, I haven't seen it. But I know you're talking about.
Part 2 is supposed to be out soon, so I don't know when it's supposed to drop, but it's supposed to be out soon.
The reason why I asked this question, not to cut you off, Kay, is because my lady friend does not like horror movies, but I'm trying to ease her into ones with, no really supernatural elements to it.
It has no supernatural elements.
There's a lot of horror movies out there that don't have supernatural elements to it.
No. I agree with you.
Like situations that are far-fetched. Yes, demonic things and
Okay.
images and stuff that can be very.
God, I was
But
gonna
that's
say
hard
Evil
to do.
Dead.
We
I
love
was
the
gonna say
Belko
Evil Dead.
experiment. So go watch the Belko experiment.
Did you
I
watch
would have
it?
said Evil Dead, but it has
No, Evil
demonic
Dead.
imagery, so it wouldn't have worked.
Dead literally.
Oh, yeah.
Possessed by fucking Deadite. Like no.
No, but I'm saying like it
Oh.
like past the first one, it's funny rather
Yeah.
than
it becomes more. Yeah, it becomes
definitely
more
goes more to
comedy.
humor.
Yeah, once you get into Army of Darkness and stuff, it becomes more
Yeah.
comedy.
For sure.
But what could I recommend? Why not go Chucky?
Yeah,
She's gonna laugh. He doesn't want her to laugh.
Yeah, really scary to me.
I would say go. I would
say
say go Freddy versus Jason. No, I'm just playing.
Good luck.
Like he said,
Freddy works though. I
he
think
said,
Freddy
dark
works.
meat. Don't get that much. That's like my favorite line. Like that's amazing.
Freddy or even Jason movies, I think will be fine.
Jason could work.
I can't
Friday the
give
13th.
you any of my favorites because majority of them have supernatural elements. Like it's a bit crazy. I for honorable mentions, Hostel and I have one in my damn brain and I can't get it out. I'll probably remember it later. 28 Days Later.
Yes,
that's a good one.
Yes. Oh wow, I forgot about that.
I love zombie movies.
Great.
And I love things that make me jump. And that's one movie that'll make me jump. VHS is another good one, or REC.
Oh, VHS
Somebody
is
seen
good.
that?
Was it good?
VHS is good. It's a horror,
VHS
like
is
it's an anthology kind of series.
Yeah,
So-
I know there's more to it. but
So
going to the first-
basically, just for anybody who's never watched VHS, and then I'll give what REC is because a lot of people think the remake is actually the good one, the original is, but VHS is basically this guy. They basically tried to raid this guy's house. They're trying to rob this guy's house, and they found him there basically dead in the chair, and he was just surrounded by VHS tapes. Little did they know that each of the VHS tapes that they put in and watched was actually it was basically like different horror tales. But the more they watched, the more they got trapped into these stories. So it's basically a series. They have a series of movies where people actually like find the tapes and play them and watch them over. But it's super crazy. I will say for the first movie, be careful of the Batgirl. That's all I'll say. That's the only moment that made me jump.
No.
Well, yeah, but you'll see. You'll see. But and REC, which a lot of people don't realize is actually the original Quarantine movie. They actually show what was happening in the attic, and it was a lot more gory. It was a lot more, I would say, a bit demonic because it had demonic ties. But by the time you reach part 3, it's hilarious. By the time you reach part 3, it is hilarious. But I suggest a lot of people, if you want to watch horror movies, watch a lot of horror movies from Spain or European horror movies.
Yeah, the Italian ones.
Korean horror movies, Lord.
Koreans ain't that bad.
You ever seen the movie? Korean? There's some pretty intense.
They got some intense
movies
shit
out there. You ever seen the movie Audition?
Which one?
Audition is so deeply disturbing that I didn't even like it. And I'm a horror movie buff. It's just one of those movies that made you feel very dirty. Like it was like it was a horrible experience to watch Audition for me.
Oh, man.
Like from the humanistic aspect of watching movies. Like you watch movies to enjoy it. And it's like if this was ever a real situation, this is fucking terrible.
I mean, we could say the same for Human Centipede, and that wasn't.
Korean. Oh God,
that's horrible too.
You don't even need to watch that movie. You can just guess. As soon as you say the you can say one sentence of the premise of that movie, and it's going to turn off.
I've seen a few clips. I haven't seen. No, I think I've seen 2.
I've seen one clip, and it was literally 5 seconds, and I turned that shit off. I was like, I'm good.
Netflix had it. Netflix had all the movies at one point.
Yeah, they did.
2.
At one point, they had everything.
I didn't watch 1. I heard 1 was disgusting. 2 was funny to me because of how it happened. But
I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
What's yours, sir?
Oh, hold on, real quick.
Is good.
Yeah. as well as
No, sir.
Quarantine.
Quarantine is not good. Watch REC.
Quarantine's
Trust
good.
me.
I like Quarantine.
Trust me.
Quarantine was a good movie.
Watch REC and compare it. Trust me.
Um,
REC is much better.
Me, see, here's the thing. Out of all of us, I don't do horror. Like, it's just not entertaining to me. Most of them, I guess I should say. I will definitely go with Aliens. That's definitely up there. One and two in particular.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Oh no,
Um,
that's a good one too.
Which one?
Ready or Not.
Oh, are they playing hide and seek? Oh,
Yeah, Ready or Not is a pretty fun horror movie.
oh, is the Fugees in it?
No.
Um, God, I hate doing this, and it's crazy because I feel like most of my answers are going to be ones that said like 28 Days Later. I did love, and I've seen that a bunch of times. What was one of the other ones y'all said, and I can't remember it now. Oh God, fucking horror movies. I hate horror movies. I mean, to me, it's like the classics. It's the Nightmare on Elm Streets. It's the, I agree with Evil Dead. I agree with, Friday the 13th. I feel like for me, it's about like what horror movies make me laugh the most. And I know that might sound stupid and redundant, but
Horror and comedy are mostly related.
but I mean like the really stupid fucking horror movies, like Jason X. Like I would watch that to laugh because it's fucking dumb. When he took the campers and beat the virtual campers and beat one with the other in a bag, that was hysterical.
That was a pretty fun scene.
And then he fucking went and got space metal and went Power Rangers villain on niggas. Like I was like, what is happening? Freddy versus Jason. I mentioned that earlier. Like it was stupid, but the action was actually not bad. The rest of the premise was kind of dumb.
Probably would like Shaun of the Dead.
I love Shaun of the Dead. Amazing.
Idle Hands.
The Simon Pegg trilogy is really
yes. The trilogy is
hot fun. I remember vaguely seeing The World's End, but I've seen Shaun the Dead and Hot Fuzz the most.
Hot Fuzz was amazing. Yeah, like I don't really do horror like that. Like, who would be great on this? Tiff. Tiff loves horror movies. Yeah. Like I'm just not a horror guy really. It's never gravitated to me like it does for a lot of people.
Not for everybody.
That's why I'm like that's why I react. That's why I've been reacting the way I'm reacting, because a lot of movies I forgot too. So I've probably have seen it and just haven't seen it in so long that it, it's just not there. This mind is full of wrestling, comics, and video games, like and cartoons, like fucking Power Rangers. But that's what I'm saying. Like I mean, those are just some, and once again, I feel like it's just a cop out because these are things that's already been said.
You can't forget Dragon Ball Evolution. That, oh my god!
Can we not?
What a horror movie that was!
That was
horrible movie. Horrible movie.
God, if we do that, then we got to put Electra in there too. Yeah, I don't really know. Sorry, I'm looking at the pops to see if there's anything that pops. No pun intended. That pops in my head, but I really. Oh, See No Evil was pretty dope.
Really,
I enjoyed that. Not scary, but I enjoyed it, and I really only saw it once. So, man, you know what I mean. But yeah, like I said, there's really not a lot for me. I just like I feel like I should just like scroll through Netflix and HBO and Hulu real quick, like to see if anything pops up. But I will say this: if we don't, if we can kind of like go off of the movie aspect and go to like a TV series, the most recent season of Stranger Things, I feel like had a very deep horror aspect to it. Um, and I love that. That was dope. Um, oh, the first Scream movie. That I would say that was definitely up there, and not because, like I said, and I don't think, and like Stretch said, everything is jump scares, from movies to TVs to video games. You know what I mean? Like everything is a jump scare now. You know. Um, hey, gents, for the last 4 minutes, you want to switch up the horror talk for a second, like to something else, like still on the horror wagon?
Mm,
Horror video games.
plenty
Oh
good
yeah,
ones.
I like a
I
good horror
mean,
video game.
the first thing is will always pop in my head will be Resident Evil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The first few, I think all the way up to, I think 1 and 2, maybe 0 had. Oh well, I didn't play 7, so I don't know. I can't talk about that one. But before it got to like the more action themed gameplay, I think they had a very amazing, like, they really brought out the survivor horror element for video games.
Hmm.
Um, Fatal Frame is an amazing franchise that I think a lot of people missed out on. Um, and
Silent
Fatal
Hill, which
Frame,
is coming back.
huh?
Silent Hill, which is coming back.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Silent Hill is a great one. Silent Hill 1 and 2 in particular.
Yeah, two's getting remade.
Yeah, dude, that looks great. And there's a new one. And there's Silent Hill F that takes place in like 60s Japan
I believe so. So basically, it seemed like the start of the
of
whatever.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, those are two games off the top of my head, or two franchises. Um,
Slender Man, Five Nights at Freddy. What else?
what's the more recent Fantobia? Phastobia?
Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
Phasmophobia is up
Thank
there.
you.
I don't think you can mention horror video games without having to say The Last of Us right now.
Yes. Yes.
Last of Us is really,
Absolutely.
to me, a masterpiece
honestly,
Absolutely.
as far as
though,
like video games is concerned, not just horror games. You know, a
it's
game I
not a
enjoyed.
horror game though. It's really not.
It's not. It's more like a drama with
It's
zombies.
more
It's a
like a
drama with
survival.
zombies.
Yeah.
It's
It's
more
like
like
a
a drama with
survival
zombies.
game with zombies. I
But
mean,
you know
which
what?
is
Really,
most
you know what's a horror game that I really
most-
enjoyed? Until Dawn. I thought Until Dawn was a really fun
Was
game.
it?
Until Dawn
Oh,
was
that
fun.
was
That was the one that was in VR, but you could play it regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
okay. That was the story based one
Hmm.
where
Yeah,
you
like
pick.
choose your own adventure.
You know
The
what's really good
Quarry
too,
is the
actually?
same. Is similar, I
Which
believe.
one?
The Quarry that came out
Yes,
in
I
a
was just
few
about
months
to
ago.
say that one. I actually was watching Ricky play when he was streaming it, and that shit, I was like, oh. I don't think any of his people survived, but the first go round. But and shout out to Ricky, man. Um, there was one more game I wanted to mention that I think is definitely one of the better ones.
Good shit.
Resident Evil. Wasn't it something that was like close to Resident Evil?
Zombie game.
Yeah.
House of the Dam. I mean, House of the Dead.
No, but that's a classic. Um,
Fun game.
yeah, super classic.
Probably Left 4 Dead. What else?
Mm.
Dead Island.
Dead Island.
Dying Light.
Dying Light was a good one. Not that I played it, but I watched it.
Dead Island was fun.
Oh, how did we not bring those movies up when we were talking about suspense? Oh well, or you guys at least, because
Psycho.
I didn't watch any of them. No, nobody mentioned The Exorcist.
Oh yeah.
Nobody
that's more
mentioned.
suspense. Not really.
Is it?
Wouldn't
That's
consider
definitely horror for sure.
Exorcist is a horror movie, bro.
For
There's no
sure.
arguing that.
Yeah. And it's a whole franchise, like with the cameras in the house, with the
Paranormal
family.
Activity.
Yes.
Wouldn't
Up
consider
until
that
it
a
got
horror movie
stupid.
either.
Well,
It's what started the
comparably
jump
to
scare craze.
Once the first movie's mystery got out there, it stopped being anything good to me. Because
yeah, that was like after what, like
you
after
have
the
people
third movie?
legit jumping. No, not even like even after the first movie, after people found out that it was fake, it was all, movie shit. That's when a lot of people started to stop.
Oh no, I
So
never
people
understand
people
people
thought it
like
was
that.
legit?
Yeah, like the way they marketed it and everything, it was legit until
Really,
they
'cause
did
they're gonna show.
interviews.
I never understood people who think that. Like they're really going to show a snuff film in freaking theaters worldwide. Like,
That's the game. They banned it in a bunch of countries, and it was that snuff, not crackdown.
Manhunt.
Yes.
They banned it a bunch of places, but I have it on my PlayStation.
Oh yeah, no, it was good in the States. It was
Apparently it's supposed to get a remake soon. So
really.
yep, that and Bully.
Bully's getting a remake? I never played the first one. I heard it was really good.
Supposed to get a remake.
It's Grand Theft Auto in school, right?
Basically,
pretty much.
That's pretty dope. Oh, a funny horror version was the DLC for Sleeping Dogs. I don't know if you ever played Sleeping Dogs.
The zombie one. I mean, Red Dead did the same thing. Undead Nightmare.
Oh, okay. I never played Red Dead, so
if you want to do suspense and school and horror, The Faculty, one of my favorite movies.
Oh wow, I remember that movie. Fucking Usher was in it.
And that's supposed to be like a sci-fi suspense horror movie.
Same thing with Species.
Yep.
Species was another one. But I mean they got a ton, not the Blob, you said The Thing. The Blob was actually kind of creepy.
You have it.
That's something I saw in theaters. Remember Relic?
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty good one too.
Was that similar to Hellraiser or no?
No. The Relic was more how would you describe, like, kind of like a monster-esque, like not like Godzilla or anything, but it was, like one was a monster and it was one of those. It was, I can't.
And The Descent is another good one as well.
Oh, that was the one with the girls, right?
When they went into the cave and they couldn't get out.
I did see that one. Yeah, that one was
monsters and shit.
Yeah. That had a ton of jump scares too.
Yep.
That one wasn't bad.
Closed spaces are good for jump scares. And shout out to It, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. I could not watch it this weekend because somebody was scared of clowns, and I don't know. I couldn't do it. The jump scares in the remake movies.
I still haven't seen the second one. I have to watch the second one. I definitely saw the first one though. I saw the first one in theaters. I did enjoy that.
Second one should be on HBO.
And Bill Skarsgård, right? Did I say it right?
Mm-hmm.
He did a phenomenal job.
Was it Bill?
It was him.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Pennywise.
He's Pennywise.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm trying to remember if the youngest one was Bill, because I know Peter is the one from True Blood, I think. And
you mean the actor?
The actor, right? And the father, I forgot. I think is actually Eric Skarsgård. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think that's Bill. That's the youngest one, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, man. So there you go. That's us. That's our episode. Covered a few topics. We will be back next week, I think. And with a lot more. Gentlemen, let's do what we do.
Well, you see my Instagram and Twitter handle right there, but I'll leave on this subject. One of my favorite wrestlers, Kevin Nash, recently lost his son. And, I'm not saying this, and I think I speak on everybody's behalf here when we say our condolences and our prayers are with the Nash family. We're not saying this to try to get likes or anything like that or anything, but, I can only imagine what he's going through as a parent and what his family is going through, and I just wish the Nash family the best of luck. And if you didn't get a chance to check out his podcast, just detailing some of the memories he had with his son, Nash's podcast is really laid back and it's super fun. They talk about whatever. Check it out. Check that episode out in particular because it's really cathartic. And I think that, that podcast really kind of ended up being pretty therapeutic for Kevin. So, is a huge fan of his, my condolences goes out to him and his family this time.
Absolutely. And as a parent, I can't imagine what that's like. So, yeah, definitely. Our hearts and our prayers and condolences to the Nash family. You can find Quiet Storm on Instagram and Twitter at Forever Thiefin. He's always posting something about he's posting about mental health. He's posting what's his Sundays striker.
He doesn't do that anymore.
Oh, he should.
So I mean, just for copyright reasons, I wouldn't.
Oh, gotcha. But you can find him at Forever Thiefin. He's
Why did we
always
miss it?
in chat.
And it's me, Striker Dracoon. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube might soon be just the same.
And your local penitentiary.
Yeah, I guess. Had something to mention. I didn't get to it this week, but I'll try and add it in next week. We Are Wrestling is doing their Welcome to the Bronx event next weekend. I have all of the flyers and everything for all the matches. So shout out to you guys. I will most definitely make sure it is shown and mentioned in full next week. Promise you guys that. And thank you guys for always shouting us out. It's always appreciated. That's it.
You can find me, K Marvel, Man of 1,000 Questions. Haven't said that in a while. On Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Marvel87. You can actually find me next Thursday on the Dirty Heels podcast. It's the Halloween episode, so we had a lot of fun with that. Shout out to BCW. They have a big show this Sunday, crowning debuting a new title, the Grand Dragon Championship. And they have a tournament for it. So shout out to them. Like a striker said, We Are Wrestling. We'll touch that next week. You can find the podcast Four Corners of Commentary on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch at the Council of Commentary, where we're always conversing. We always welcome new people, so please come on through. TikTok at it's like that, right? At Council of Commentary.
Yep.
Cool.
TikTok.com/at Council of Commentary, which is what YouTube is about to be doing. So that's why I said
the talk and stuff like that.
And then you can find us on Twitter at CO Commentary. Also, you can find us on all of your favorite streaming platforms, such as YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Audible, iHeartRadio, and this is only to name a few. Guys, we appreciate everybody always coming through and showing love. We appreciate everybody sharing our stuff. We love y'all. Thank you so much. We are 3 of your 4 corners of commentary. Bam. And we out. Peace.